finally getting into our own. Give me respect. Make it, carnal. No fake it, just take it.
What's good with it, y'all? It's your boy Santo G. Back at it, you already know. Spreading unity, prosperity, and respect. Above all, if you're new here, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Tap that notification bell. That way you're notified when I drop future content. And YouTube is now rolling out something new called a hype button. You're able to hype up videos. It's pretty much saying, hey, not only is it good, but man, hey, hype this up. You know what I mean? Share it, recommend it to other people. So if y'all day ones, you guys rocking with this channel, do me that favor, man. Hit that hype button. That way you could get this channel going. I'm trying to hit the 100K before the end of the year. We only got a few months left. So I'm about to put the gas on the content. Hit you guys with 2 episodes daily like I was doing before. 1 in the morning. Like when you're going to work, driving to work, you could put it on the radio, listen to it. And I'm going to have one ready for you when you get off of work. Get your little chela, roll up your little blunt, and just go with story time like with Santo G like before, man. I appreciate everybody that's been rocking with me. And I know I haven't been putting out a lot of content like before, but hey, we're going to get back to it. And let's go, man. So I'm going to start from the beginning. Pretty much for those people that are new to this channel, if you guys haven't been here from the beginning, I was doing chapters. I was doing growing up in LA with Santo G. I think I had like 10 chapters out. So pretty much I'm gonna start with that. For those people who don't know, pretty much I was born and raised. I was actually born at the Harbor UCLA Hospital in Torrance, and I came straight to Inglewood, was raised right here, you know what I mean? So I was born in 91, October 25th of 91. And I want to say growing up, I didn't see myself any different, you feel me? Like, I didn't see the struggle like that. As a kid, I feel like we don't see that. We're stuck on video games. We're stuck on, oh, fucking, I want to go to my cousin's house, play video games, want to go to the park. You feel me? Like, it wasn't, for me, it wasn't until, I want to say like middle school. And you guys could go back and watch my older videos. I say the same thing. I want to say it wasn't until middle school. It was, you know, when you graduate elementary, you go to middle school, they got a thing called scrub day. Well, at least back then, you know what I mean? These kids nowadays, they got it easy. Back then, there was still a such thing as scrub day. Your first day or first week of middle school, you're going to get tested. You feel me? You're going to get tested by the kids in the grade above you and above them type shit. You feel me? So I remember they were trying to mess with me. I had a little flip phone. You feel me? And they took it, ran and shit. And it's a trick because they actually ended up being the homies. You know what I mean? Salute the homie Peter and Robert, the twins. You guys know who you are, but they were kind of, at first, they was messing with me. They took my phone, woo, woo, they ran around, chased them like, hey, woo, woo, hey, give me my shit back. And I also want to give a big shout out to, man, my brother from another mother. Everybody thought he was my brother, man. The homie Jesus Leon, man, rest in peace. If you guys haven't seen the episode of me going and visiting him at his grave, man, y'all need to check out that vlog. I'm going to put a screenshot right here. That way you guys know what to look up. But, man, me and him were like this since kindergarten. I'm talking about we lived on the same block. So my jefita would take me to his mom's house, to his house, drop me off. She would take off to Halle, and then his mom would walk us to school. That's why everybody thought we was brothers, because we would show up together, and then she would pick us up, or vice versa, you feel me? But, so boom, I remember he stands up for me, boom, I get my shit back. But that's when I started just seeing like, all right, you know, it's different. went from just playing on the playground, you feel me? You know, playing the hide and go get it, slapping girls in the ass and shit, type shit, you know what I mean? To where now I'm in middle school and now it's different, you feel me? Like now people are trying you. Like that's when you really start shaping and molding yourself into who you're gonna be. You're gonna be a nerd, you're gonna be a person that's just gonna be walked over, who you gonna be. And at that point in time, this was the early 2000s. It was still where, let's be real, at the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, that's when like the popular kids was really like the gang members pretty much, you feel me? But this was middle school. I still wasn't, it was probably tagging and stuff. We made our own little crews and stuff like that, but it hadn't escalated to that. It was pretty much me saying like, all right, I gotta stand up for myself. And that's pretty much what started the journey. At that point in time, I have an older brother. He's 5 years older than me. That's where I actually got my name from. Santo G comes from my older brother, Big Saint. Growing up, he was Big Saint, and just by default, everybody that knew that that was my brother, hey, Lil Saint, hey, Lil Saint, Lil Saint, you feel me? So it just stuck. So pretty much, he was out there doing his thing. He was a part of a crew at the time that was called Pluto, you know what I mean? Shout out all the homies from Pluto. So he was part of like that crew. So all the like bad kids, at least in our side, you know what I mean? I grew up on the Hyde Park side of Inglewood. So at that time, before we brought back Hyde Park, it was Pluto on the Hyde Park side, and then on the other side, which was Arborvitae, you had Cedar Street, and you had a couple of other crews at the time, you feel me? So he was already like out there and stuff, making a name for himself. So people started knowing like, oh, that's Homeboy's brother, that's Homeboy's brother. So they kind of started like, I just fell into that group too, you feel me? And I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna say, oh, it got like pushed up on me. I chose that because I started seeing like, all right, like this is where it's at, you feel me? Like if I'm doing this, I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna be preyed on pretty much, you feel me? Like if anything, I'm gonna stand up for myself and I'm gonna be, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna be a pushover. And I feel like a lot of people growing up around that time, that's how we fell into that kind of like crowd. Because it was either you're gonna be a nerd, kind of pushover, or you're gonna be popular and you're gonna be with it. You know what I mean? Anybody watching, if you guys grew up in that environment, you guys know what I'm talking about. For those people that don't, man, hey, that's the best I could put it. So boom, that's pretty much middle school. Is that tagging crews, stuff like that. And it wasn't until I hit high school, I want to say freshman year, that I hit high school and I started going to Inglewood High School. Because where I live at on my side of town, right? Like I said, I live on the Hyde Park side. Inglewood High School is like in the middle. It's in the middle of Hyde Park and Arborvitae. So for me going to school, my jefita, you know what I mean? Salute to my moms, because she did the best she could. You feel me? Back then, at that point in time, working 2 jobs, working long ass shifts, you feel me? So I would get a ride to school sometimes, but I wouldn't get a ride back from school. So I would have to walk through certain places, and just looking the way that we look at the time, I wasn't from the hood or anything like that, but just looking the way that I looked, motherfuckers will come, hey, woo, woo, woo. Back then it was a lot more racial than it is now, you feel me? And that's just facts. And it wasn't racial like as far as like just because people wanted to go out of their way, like to just be like, oh, fuck this group of people or fuck that group of people. It was just at that point in time, the Mexican hood was going at it with the African American hood, you feel me? It was bumping heads. So it was a lot of that. And then that's when, you know what I mean, little bit time went by, my brother ended up getting shot, and then I ended up getting dumped at. So it was just like, man, I'm out here rolling around with these people, I'm already getting dumped at, my canal just got hit. Like, man, if I'ma die, like, I ain't gonna be one of those people that, oh, he died, but he was just an innocent person. And I was like, nah, like, you feel me? We all know them people, you feel me, that were around, but they just happened to pass away. And it's like, damn, man, like, they weren't even banging, but they were around. I don't know, at the time, you could say it was my dumb, young mentality. Looking back on it, I don't know how I rationalized it like that, but that's how it was. At least that's how I felt. And I was just like, nah, man, like, if anything, I'm gonna get put on, like, you feel me? That's what led me to go get put on a neighborhood and just start doing the stuff that I was doing. And then at that point in time, they ended up killing an innocent kid. Like I said, you know what I mean? He just happened to be walking with the homie. He had his earbuds in. They roll up on him. I believe the homie threw up the hood. He seen them doubling back. He tried to yell at homeboy and ran. But because he had his headphones on, he didn't hear him. They rolled up behind him and they hit him with a shotgun, you know what I mean, from the back. Rest in peace, Fabian, you know what I'm saying? Like, I also did a vlog going and checking out his gravesite, man. I'm gonna put the screenshot right here in case you guys want to check it out, man. Rest in peace, Fabian. But then that ended up happening. So once that happened, man, I was fresh, put on. I was like, man, you know, it's time to shine. It's time to do my thug dizzle. And went, did something, and it led me to get busted. I fought it for 2 years. I didn't even go to juvenile court not one time. I ended up getting caught up for an attempted murder case. Boom, that ends up happening. I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit more, and then I'll end it off with me getting busted, and then that'll be the next episode, you feel me? So, boom, that ends up happening. They end up killing Fabian, you know what I mean? Rest in peace. Go to his funeral, and at that time, I was freshly put on. I was pretty much, I believe I was the youngest fool from the hood at the time, you feel me? So, go to his funeral and all that, and it hit me to the point where I felt like I needed to do something, and I went, did what I did. They hit my pad that same day. We ended up going, and I could talk about it because I already did my time for it. I served 10 years for it. I did 9 years, 4 months out of it. Out of 10 years, I did 9 years, 4 months. So, pretty much, we end up going, find somebody. It was early in the morning too. Find somebody. We end up going to my house, and we end up doing it in the homie's car. You know what I mean? Like, that was our main number one mistake. First mistake was even doing it to begin with. You feel me? Like, so we did it in the homie's car. They got his license plates. He lived right across the street from me. At the time, we were staying right here on Centinela and Stepney. So he lived right across the street, like 2-3 houses down. So he drops me off. I go shower, do what I do. He parks and comes to my house. So the whole time that we were chilling at my house, the cops were parked down the street because they had already got his license plates, ran his plates, found out where he lived, passed by. They seen that the car was parked in the driveway, so they were just sitting, waiting for anybody to go to that car. So I jump in the shower. I come out the shower. Literally, I come out the shower, drying off, getting dressed, and I just hear, what the fuck? Open the door. As soon as I open the door, it's IPD. Like, get the fuck down. Just grab me, boom, slam me. Go inside the pad. They get my carnal. They get my nephew, man. Kevin, I apologize, you know what I mean? They get my nephew. He was only like a year old, bro. Like, my carnal's out there with my nephew. And they just have us outside, you feel me? I guess they were waiting, so when these fools, I don't know what they were going to do. I don't know if they were going to go get some blunts or what they were going to do, but they started walking to homeboy's driveway to get in the car. As soon as they did that, boo, cops rolled up on them. And one of the homies did end up telling, you know what I mean? He did end up snitching and pretty much led him straight to my house. That's the one that was yelling, because they were fucking him up. He was already talking, so they were, tell us more. Where he at? Woo, woo. That ends up happening. They raid the house, find the strap in the backyard, in the garage, open common area. They bring people, like in the cop cars and stuff, witnesses. And at the time, like I said, I had showered, I had changed. So the witnesses they brought on site, when they took me out in the middle of the street, you know, when they point the light at you and they're like, is that him? Is that not him, right? They all said no to me. But I had two crimies. One of them told, and I'm not even going to mention his name, and it was the other homie, Necio. Shout out to homie Necio. Rest in peace, Necio, man. That's the boy right there. He kept it solid, you feel me? So, boom. They end up pointing out the fool that told and the homie Necio. They only seen the driver and they seen me. But I had a hoodie on and all that, so they pointed them two out, not me. They let me go. They raided my pad, found all that, but since it was in the back, they said they were coming from my house. They kind of gave it the benefit of the doubt, like, okay, maybe this fool wasn't a part of it. Maybe they just ran to the back to stash that and then they were going back to the car to leave. You feel me? It wasn't until later on that the actual victim pointed me out in a 6-pack, and then there was two other females that pointed me out in the 6-pack, and then they had homeboy, as soon as he hit the station, started talking. You feel me? So that's why I tell all the youth, man, y'all be safe. Worry about yourself. Worry about your money. Straight up. Worry about stacking your bread. Worry about your health. Worry about your family. Because at the end of the day, man, you never know. You feel me? The fool that told, the dude, the homie that told on me, and this is facts, he was like my brother. He was like my brother. Because once I ended up getting put on the hood and all that, the homie Jesus Leon, rest in peace, that I said he was like my brother. Once we went to high school, he ended up going to Animo Inglewood, and I went to Inglewood High. So we went our separate ways. He ended up going like the hustler route, and I ended up just going deeper in the hood life. So once I went deeper in the hood life, the homie that told on me, that was like, everybody thought that was my older brother. You feel me? Like, everybody that didn't know that I was Saint's brother, they thought I was that fool's brother, because me and him were always together. And he told on me. The other homie Necio, like, we were barely starting to get tight. Like, we were chilling every day, stuff like that, you feel me? But he kept it solid till the end of, you know what I mean? Till he ended up passing away. He ended up getting out. He ended up getting some stuff after he got out. He got deported to Guatemala, and they ended up killing him over there in Guatemala. But the motherfucker closest to me told, and the motherfucker that I would think would probably, like, you know what I mean? Not hold it, not even, because he was solid, but, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't have as tight as bond as me and homeboy did. But homeboy kept it solid, and homeboy straight told and fed me to the wolves, you feel me? But just a little take, you know what I mean? Y'all be safe, worry about yourself, worry about your paper. I'm gonna pick it up with the next episode, letting you guys know on what ended up happening after, because they let me go. They let me go. It wasn't until, like, I want to say probably 2 weeks later, they ended up coming. 2 weeks later, they came, hit the pad, taking me in, and they still let me go again. I was still out for like another few months after this, because of me keeping my mouth shut. Y'all gonna hear that in the next episode, man. And if I can, I'm gonna get my tape video, because I know I kept it solid, and it just be like a little show, like, look, this is how you handle yourself. Because even my lawyer told me, like, hey, man, I watched your interrogation video, man, and salute you, man. Like, you did real good, denying everything, not inculpating yourself, not whatsoever. You feel me? I think that'll be a learning lesson. So with that being said, man, I appreciate everybody that tapped in to watch this video. Real, raw, and uncut. Your boy Santo G telling this story from the beginning to the end. I appreciate y'all, man. Let's get it.
got our own clique, strong, finally getting into our own.